Hello, I'm Colin Hurd, and I'm a poet, and I'm also convener of the MLitt in creative writing here at the University of Glasgow. I'm here to give you an overview of the programme, to give you all the information you might need if you're thinking of applying, and also to just give you a sense of what it's like to study creative writing here at the university. So as I mentioned, I'm Colin Hurd, and I just wanted to say a little bit about myself, but also introduce some of our colleagues. I'm a poet, as I said. I've published 5 collections of poetry. I'm particularly interested in collaboration as well. 2 of my most recent collections were collaborative, and I've also edited a number of anthologies of contemporary poetry, one of which focused on writing from Glasgow and especially focused on collaborative writing. But on our program, we have specialists in fiction, non-fiction, creative essays, poetry, of course, and also writers who've worked in writing across different media, including libretti for stage, radio plays, and much more. So whatever it is you're interested in writing, we have expertise on the staff body, the faculty, who can help you with that. So the program works like this. There are workshops, which are peer review workshops, where you and your peers submit work and have that reviewed by your workshop group, including the workshop tutor, who is a practicing writer, one of the writers that I've mentioned. So that's where you're really getting the support of your peers, but also the support of staff to really understand the mechanics of your work. And we really focus not on making your work fit into any specific mold or any particular genre or form. We're really interested in what you want to achieve with your work and helping you to draw that out and push it as far as you can to make the most distinctive, ambitious, innovative work, because we really feel that that is what sets work apart and makes encourages work to make an impact in the world. Our reading lists for all of our courses tend to be really, really contemporary. We're really interested in introducing you to work that stretches your sense of what's possible, that really opens your eyes to the kind of work that's out there and what your writing might be adding to that incredibly verdant field of contemporary literature. We also really pride ourselves on the amount of industry expertise that we introduce into the program. So we have a strand of the program, which is called editing and publication. And in that strand, we invite agents, publishers, editors, and other literary professionals from the kind of business side of writing here to campus, or sometimes on Zoom if it's easier, for the professional to join us on Zoom, but most of the time here on campus, to give you a real sense of how they see the literary world from their side. And it really demystifies, opens up, and just kind of gives you a grounding in what you need to know to get work published, to find an audience for your work, and to find those opportunities for your work. So, we really stress both sides of the equation. One, making sure that your writing is as fluid, as exciting, as contemporary, as polished, as well crafted as it can be. But also on the other side, making sure that you have the knowledge, the skills, also the contacts and the network to get your work in front of the people that are going to be able to help you achieve what your goals are for your writing. And then I briefly mentioned it already, but we also really pride ourselves on the one-to-one contact that you get. So across the program, you have 5 different one-to-one tutorials with an individual tutor who reads your work with care, really gets to know you and your ambitions for your writing, really gets to understand your how you write, what your style is, what it is you want to achieve, and helps you to develop and kind of find the ways that will help you do that. And will, like sometimes it can be very mechanical and to do with the actual inner workings of a text and the inner workings of structure, technique, methodology, even like the actual approach that you take to writing a text, or ideas of craft such as voice, perspective, characterization, etc. Sometimes it can be very focused on those kind of nuts and bolts things, but often it can also be very conceptual, just about what it is you actually want to do, what it is you want to achieve with your writing. So those one-to-one tutorials, they're one of my absolute favorite parts of teaching creative writing here. there's just so many brilliant moments that have happened in those conversations where you get a sense that the student is understanding their work and understanding the strengths of their work, understanding what it is that makes them a unique writer. And they're really, really rewarding for me, and I think for the students as well. So why choose this program? Well, I hope I've given you a few reasons already, but the number one reason is this one that I've already alluded to, which is really this focus on your individual writing style. So many students come to this program and they're already, the first thing I should say is once you get on the program, you're already a very good writer, because we get so many applications, we cannot accept them all. So you've already gone through quite a competitive process to get yourself a place on the program. So you've been accepted on the strength of your portfolio once you're accepted. And so you have talent and skill as a writer. And so what we really do is focus on you understanding your individual style, understanding what you need to do for that style to work. Or, because sometimes I've experienced it where there's something that's maybe stands out about writing. And sometimes it can be the writer is insecure about it, or the writer is uncertain whether it works. Maybe that's because they write in quite a full on and intense way, or maybe that's because they write in quite a kind of lavish way, with long sentences, quite like ornamental sentences. But oftentimes those are the things that are most interesting about their writing style, and just understanding those, harnessing them, using them in such a way that they really work in a text. Those are the kinds of things that kind of occur in these kinds of discussions. So I would say that we're not interested in this program in having writers write the same as each other. We're interested in supporting you to write really individual work that has your unique sense of the work you want to do in writing. And this all comes from in-depth practice-based learning. So you're writing throughout the course all the time. You're writing in class, you're writing for classes. You will get so much writing done across this program. It's really immersive in that sense, and you're always learning through writing. So you never get to the point where you have an assessment and you're needing to find writing. Really, you have to do writing for an assessment, obviously, but across the whole program, you're writing all the time. You will have plenty of material. You will be working on so many different things. You will be experimenting with different writing exercises, different writing approaches. So just in terms of generating material, the practice-based way in which we teach really is, I think, a real benefit and a kind of unique aspect of the program. As I mentioned, we're all the staff are practicing writers, but we're also really interested in researching writing. We're in a university, so we're here to research, and that research that we do really informs our teaching. So we will be sharing articles, we'll be sharing our knowledge and our kind of research with you in a really open, transparent way. And often that's two-way. So often I learn so much from students, as do other colleagues, and that's how learning happens. So it's really led by our research. And finally, this is something that's really dear to my heart, because I've worked with colleagues on developing this part of the program. But I do believe that we have the most vibrant creative writing visiting speaker program of any institution. We have a different author invited to campus every single week, and oftentimes it's more than one. And this is part of our Creative Conversations series, which is our flagship series of creative writing visiting speakers events. You can find out more details on our social media, U of G Writing, about upcoming events, because they are open to the public. They're in the University Chapel on a Monday lunchtime, but they're also streamed on online as well. So if you just Google, or you go on the University of Glasgow events website, or you go on the @U of G Writing social media, you can find all those details and get that knowledge there. But yeah, I would say it's just a unique opportunity to learn from prize-winning, published, really amazing authors every week on campus, what they, how they write, what their unique kind of take and method is. So yeah, they're really fantastic events. Career paths and opportunities, the first one, of course, is so many of our uh, alumni and graduates go on to publish their work creatively. But writing is a really hard profession. So often, even if you are publishing works and they're, coming out as books, you maybe have other career things going on as well. And this is a really unique part of the program, is a lot of people come to our program already working in distinct fields. So some people come straight from undergraduate programs, but some people come, taking time out or studying part-time from existing careers. And that's a real strength of the program. I think it means that we have people from all kind of walks of life here together studying writing. And the thing that unites them, of course, is their interest in writing and publishing their creative work. But some of the fields that our alumni go on to work in is, of course, as writers, also journalism, education, marketing, other positions within the literary world. So a lot of our alumni go on to work in arts organizations, or often work as agents or as editors or in publishing houses in different roles. And that's a really frequent thing that happens. But also, of course, lots of other fields. We have someone on the MLitt right now who is a surgeon, a kind of leading surgeon. So it's a really diverse cohort, and it leads on to a lot of diverse kind of opportunities as well. So if you are interested in applying, the main point I would say about this is the full details for how to apply are on the University of Glasgow website. You just navigate to the MLitt in Creative Writing program, and you can find the details there. But we make decisions on admissions primarily based on the strength of the creative writing portfolio that you produce for your application. So you submit a portfolio of up to 20 pages of any creative writing at all, and that's what we assess you based on. So do please, submit your best work for that. And we're really looking for promise. We're looking for writing that excites us, that gives us a sense of you as a writer. But you can find the full details on how to apply on the University of Glasgow website if you just navigate to the Creative Writing MLitt pages. So I said that we would come on to student and alumni success, and this is, of course, one of my absolute favorite slides to show you, because this is just a snapshot of some of the graduates of the last 3 or 4 years, maybe, and some of their successes. So writers like Kay Patrick, Angie Spoto, Shola von Reinhold, Callan Steed, Madeline Doherty, Fina Scarlett, Megan Jennett, Rebecca Smith, and Margaret MacDonald have all had these books published in the last few years, and some of them now are publishing, their second and in at least one case, third books from the last few years. So I just wanted to show this as a slide that really demonstrates the strength of the program. Now, this isn't to say that everyone who studies on the MLitt goes on to be published and to have these, in some cases, these are best-selling books. In some cases, they're award-winning books across different genres, by the way. So there's some nonfiction here, there's some fiction, there's some poetry, there's historical fiction, literary fiction, crime fiction here as well. So a whole range of different genres. But this isn't to say that by studying on our program, you are guaranteed to have your work published. Not at all. It's a case of it's a case of the learning that you do on the program really benefits you if you then do the work to get your work published. And we, as I said, we really do help you to have the knowledge that then enables you to find those opportunities. So if you are interested in applying, do please visit the program web pages on the University of Glasgow website, and also do feel free to email colin.hurd@glasgow.ac.uk or my colleague sophie.collins@glasgow.ac.uk if you have any program queries at all. We'll both be really happy to answer your queries. We're co-convening at the moment, and we'll delighted to get back to you with more information. And then this is a link to the University of Glasgow Arts and Humanities social media and podcast. We also do have University of Glasgow Creative Writing social media, which is at UofG Writing on Instagram. So reach out to us. We can't wait to see you, to get to know you if you get a place on the program, and to learn more about your writing. Thank you so much for listening.